Welcome to the webinar Video Analysis with MAXQDA. I hope everybody can hear me and you are fine. My name is Stefan and I work as a research consultant and I am a member of the MAXQDA development team. I'm very happy to talk today about video analysis with MAXQDA because I think this topic is very interesting. It's becoming more and more popular, and of course video data is very common for the analysis of any kind of interaction of people. So you will find lots of video data showing pupils in the schools. So in school research, video analysis is very popular. And yeah, let's have a look at the schedule for today. I'm going to talk about 30 minutes and show you the main ideas and functions of video analysis and working with videos in MAXQDA. So let's jump right into MAXQDA now, where we have this area, and I have prepared the schedule for today here as a document group inside MAXQDA. And I want to start with the first topic that is called, which functions does MAXQDA offer for video analysis? I think there are five main topics. The first one is that you can code and retrieve video segments, which are called video clips, like you can do with text. And this is possible with an accuracy of 10 of a second. The second function in MAXQDA for analyzing video is that you can enter comments and also weights for coded segments, like you can add to any coded segment in MAXQDA. Furthermore, you can use memos for annotating special video positions, and you can copy the video picture that you see as an image to the clipboard to integrate it, for example, in your report, because it is not possible most times to include a whole video in a report or a paper. And last but not least, it is possible to transcribe a video or parts of it. So let's start with the first very important thing, and that is, before you can work with videos, you need to import them into MAXQDA projects. So how do you import a video file? You can do this like you work with any other file in MAXQDA. So you can use the document import procedure. I select this document group video here, which I have prepared for today, and I select the documents entry from the main menu. I select the entry import documents, and here I have one video located in my Mac Finder. This is a video that is also included in the MAXQDA example projects, which is delivered when you first open the demo version of MAXQDA. So this interview on live satisfaction will be the training material for today. It is in MP4 format, and this is widely used for videos, but MAXQDA cannot only import MP4s, but if you click on this list here, you will see that MAXQDA can also work with MOV files, M4A files, and some video formats more. If you work with a Windows computer, you can additionally work with WMV files, but it is a special format for Windows computers. So if you work in a team with other team members and some of them has a Mac, the best choice would always be to work with MP4 files. I now click Open to import this interview on live satisfaction in my prepared MAXQDA project. And what MAXQDA does is several things at once. At first, here it opens the multimedia browser showing the video. We will come back to this main window for working with videos later. So I close it right now. And I want to pay your attention to the document system, where the following has happened. MAXQDA included a new document name here that it has the same name as the video file. So if you want to work with video files in MAXQDA, it is always a good idea to label them before you import them in MAXQDA with the final name, so you don't have to rename them later, and then you might have different names inside MAXQDA and outside MAXQDA. Another thing has happened, because this is a new text document that MAXQDA has created and which is opened here. Here's the space where you can enter, but you don't have to, a transcript for this video which has been imported. And it's not so well seen here, but this is a video camera symbol here, which symbolizes that this document has assigned a video file. When you import a video file into a MAXQDA project, this file is too large to be included into the project itself. So this video file is copied into the externals folder instead. MAXQDA uses and manages this folder for any files that are not included in a project but are necessary to work with this project. You have the option in the main preferences, which are available on Mac here in the MAXQDA 12 menu preferences, and on Windows in the project menu preferences, to select where the folder for externally stored files is located. Usually MAXQDA creates a folder on your My Documents folder on your hard drive, and it is always highly recommended to use an externals folder which is located on your hard drive, because this will ensure the best performance when opening and working with videos. Of course, sometimes it is not possible to work with or to save these videos locally, but please don't save them on a network drive. It would slow down the analysis and the whole process of getting the file. Of course, you can work with an external file, and then you should use these 3 dot labeled button here and click on it to choose the folder where you can save your external files. Now, another thing during the import has happened, and that is that MAXQDA switched on this symbol, this toolbar here, which is called the media player. Whenever you switch it off and you need it anytime you're working with the video files, go to the View menu and be sure that the media player here is selected, and you can switch it off and switch it on here. So when you've imported the video file and you are working in a team, please be sure that everybody of this team has the same video files copied to their externals folder. Now, let's go back to this toolbar here. There is one icon, the first icon, which is very important because you can switch the player off. This is usually not necessary, so please ensure that it is always switched on. And the second symbol is also important because this switches on the window for the multimedia browser, which contains the video. If you switch the multimedia browser on, this multimedia browser is displayed as a new window here in front of the 4 main windows of MAXQDA. It shows the video to be analyzed on top, and here we have a large toolbar with lots of symbols to control the video. The main symbol here is this one. It is for playing and pausing the video, but usually you will use the function keys F4 and F5 for starting and stopping a video. So if I hit the key F4 on my keyboard right now, it will start. And the interviewer question is here, played. And another hit on the key F4 is for stopping or pausing the video. Please note that it doesn't matter which key you use, F4 or F5, they are interchangeable. What you see here below this symbol toolbar is that MAXQDA created an audio wave for the whole video, for the audio part of it. So anytime somebody speaks or there is noise in the video, you get a high peak here, and anytime there is no noise or there is nothing, nobody speaking here in this area, for example, you see that in this area nobody is speaking because there is no level in the audio wave. What you can do here, what you see here, the blue line, is the actual playing position. So here we are between 4 seconds and 6 seconds, which is displayed here also. We are now at the video position 5 seconds of a total length of 1 minute and 15 seconds. So if you click anywhere with a mouse in this audio wave, you can positionate the multimedia browser, the video file, at this position, or you can use the slider to go ahead and move fast forward within the whole video. If you have a video that has changing scenes, it might be interesting to switch on the preview images, which allow you fast navigation inside a video. You see here that the icon is labeled Display Preview Images, and if I click on it, MAXQDA asks you if you want to create the preview images for this video. And if I click yes, it may take some time. And here for this short video, we get these preview images displayed below the symbol toolbar. You see that these preview images are not very interesting if we have a still camera, and they are especially useful if you have changing scenes, so you can navigate fastly, as I've told before. So I switch off the preview images, but add another note or remark. Maybe you've seen in your externals folder when you've worked with video files before that MAXQDA created there a .dat file. This .dat file includes the preview images and includes this wave line. So don't delete it, just keep it there. MAXQDA needs it and stores the preview images and the wave line inside this .dat file. Now we have opened and played a video in the multimedia browser, and we can continue with the next topic, which is how do you highlight, how do you mark and code a video clip inside the multimedia browser. The main idea is that we start from the beginning here. The main idea is that you start and play the video until you want to start a coding, or want to start a coded segment. And let's say we want to code the first answer of the person here which is interviewed. What I do is that I start the video.
Okay, the first topic, and how happy are you with your career now?
Okay, and I see that the person starts talking here, so I can click in this audio wave here and select this icon, which is called Start of Clip Selection, or I can use the F7 button on my keyboard. When I start a clip selection, MAXQDA creates a new highlighted passage for me, and I can continue listening to and watching the video.
Okay, I'm pretty satisfied with my career right now, as I'm the apprentice at a nice software company who does for qualitative research, and my future is still open. Okay.
And after the person has finished his contribution to this interview, I pause the video and choose the next icon, which is called Set the End of the Clip Selection. Or I can use the function key F8. If I do this, I need to adjust the right border a little bit because I've stopped after the moderator has started with the interrupted this, so I can move around the right border, and also if I need the left border, anytime when a selection is there. I just need to use these draggers or these grabbers, or I can use this right border itself. Now, after I've highlighted this passage here inside the video, I can code like I do it with a highlighted text in a text document or an interview. I take this highlighted passage and drag it with the mouse to a code, in this case to the job area software, where because the person talked that he's working in a software company, and I also add the code satisfaction with career status high, because the person said I'm pretty satisfied with my career right now. So at this moment I've created new coded segments, and these are displayed here in this audio wave by coloring the audio wave. Coding is not the only way to work with videos in MAXQDA. You could also add the comments to coded segments. So after you have coded it, you can right-click on a coding stripe and select the option Edit Comment to enter your comment, and it will be displayed here with a white square, and it will be also displayed in the tooltip like it is displayed inside the document browser when you're working with text and adding a comment to a coded segment on the coding stripe there. If you want to add a memo inside the multimedia browser, for example, for a special position where somebody is speaking or the new phase of the interaction begins, you can just select any position inside the video and use this icon here, which is called New Memo. And after you have entered your memo text, you've closed it, MAXQDA will present here and display a memo icon just inside the audio wave, and you can move it around and drag it where you want. And you see when you look at the image above that the player position and the video image is moving, so you can use this function for accurate positioning of the memo. Of course, you see here in the tooltip that the memo text is displayed when you hover over the memo with a mouse. As I've started my introduction, it is not possible to include a video in a report. So let's say you want to copy this image here into your report or your paper. Then you can use the camera to copy this image to the clipboard and to paste it in your Word document there. You can also use the icon next to the camera and insert this video picture as a new image in the document system. If I do this, here MAXQDA creates a new document and shows it up here in the document browser, and I can start coding and analyzing this special scene here. So this might be a very interesting option or function for going into detail with a special scene where you want to analyze data. So I will continue with the next topic, and that's called coding query for video clips. So after you've coded data or you've worked with it, you can use lots of the functions of MAXQDA to continue your analysis. So what I can do, or what I've done here before, is that I've pre-coded a video with some more coded segments for this webinar. And it is the same video, just has now 8 coded segments instead of 2. So if I activate it, you see it here that it has some more coded segments than the one before. Now all these coded segments are selected, and we can also activate the code software, and MAXQDA will retrieve the segments that fit to the code software and inside the interview on life satisfaction, and they are displayed here in the 4th main window of MAXQDA in the retrieved segments window. Please note that here this is also interactive. So if you click on this source information, MAXQDA will jump right into the video and start playing the sequence that you've coded with the code software, so you can investigate what has been coded there in this scene. Of course, you can use all other analytical features of MAXQDA for coded segments, like the code relations browser, where you can search for code co-occurrences, for example, where the job area software is combined with high satisfaction or medium satisfaction. You can look for intercoder agreement, or one very interesting thing is the code line for videos. Code line is a visual tool of MAXQDA that allows you to display codes in a line and the parts of the video in the columns. So I'm going to create this here by right-clicking on the pre-coded video and selecting the option Code Line. What I see now is not very spectacular, because at first MAXQDA creates a code line for the transcript that is here, and the transcript is empty, so the code line is empty too. But there is an icon here at the bottom, at the top left, which is labeled code line for linked media file. If you click on it, MAXQDA switches between the code line for the transcript and the code line for the video itself. And what you see here is that MAXQDA uses seconds, or for long videos, minutes, and shows them in the columns and the codes here in the rows. So if I scroll through this video, I can see the sequence on which data was coded and how people might interact in the video within special topics, or within special scenes, or within special data. Of course, it might be interesting to navigate and to scroll within this video, but there's one icon here which is very helpful, and it is called Fit to Window Width. If I right-click on it, MAXQDA fits the whole display into this window, and I see the whole picture at once, and this is the idea. So for using this presentation, or for using this visual tool for presentation, or for including in a report, because otherwise you might need 30 DIN A4 pages for displaying a code line. So this was the code line, and you might have noticed that activating a document here which has an assigned video always activates both the video itself and the transcript. So if you have a code that is used inside the video and inside the transcript, then in the retrieved segments window, they will be included, because only the code line separates between the transcript itself and the video file. So we need to talk about the last point, and this is the topic transcribing a video. If you want to transcribe a video, you can do it like you can transcribe an audio file. Just right-click on the imported video file here and select the menu entry Transcribe Video File. Then several things are happening again. MAXQDA opens a multimedia browser, which is interesting if you are transcribing a group interview or a focus interview like here, because the video often shows you better which person is actually speaking. But I will close the window. We don't need it here for demonstration. And here, this window that comes up is called the Transcription Mode window and shows you that MAXQDA status is now the Transcription Mode, which means that you have several options for working with or handling and controlling the transcription. You can adjust the volume, you can adjust the playing speed. For example, can you slow it down for persons who are speaking very fast, and you can speed it up for checking your transcription after you have finished it. And there is the option to set a rewind interval, which guarantees a fluently transcription after stopping and playing again. So how does it work? You click in the document browser, you use the F4 or F5 key to start the video, to play the video. And we need to be sure to go back to the start of the video.
Okay, but first topic, how happy are you with your career now?
So here I stop it again. I transcribe what I've heard, okay, the first topic, and so on from the interviewer. And now there is another option here in this transcription mode panel, which is called timestamp on enter, which means that each time I hit the enter button here in the transcript, MAXQDA adds an additional line for better reading and adds this timestamp, which allows us to jump right into the video file at the position 5 seconds where the speaker ended and the next speaker begins, for example. So the timestamps are used for connecting the transcript with the video file. So I've talked several times about the function keys in MAXQDA, and there is one thing you need to know when you're working with a Mac, because the function keys on a Mac are usually used for system internal functions like brightness or volume control. And if you want to use the function keys F4, F5 for playing and pausing, for example, for transcription, you need to hold down the Fn key, which might be very uncomfortably if you're transcribing or if you're working with the multimedia browser. So what you can do is that you open the preferences on your Mac, that you open the keyboard section and ensure and tick the option use F1, F2, etc. keys as standard function keys. Because now, if you hit the F1 or the F4 button, the MAXQDA will play and pause the video. So if you have ended your transcription, you just need to hit the button End Transcription, and MAXQDA saves everything. Now we can click on this timestamp and jump and hear the position what we have transcribed. So this was it from my side, my presentation on the analytical forms for video analysis. And now it's time for you to ask questions in the GoToMeeting control panel in the chat. So open your GoToMeeting control panel and enter your questions and hit the send icon, and I will answer your questions then. Now at the moment there is no message coming in, but maybe you are still writing. So I want to tell you something about the video functions and the ideas that here is in MAXQDA. Here's coming some. No. So maybe you've seen that there is also an overview of timestamps when you're working with transcript. Here in the media player toolbar, there is the option to use the overview of timestamps. If you open it for a document, you see which timestamps have already been set inside a video and inside a transcript, and you have the option to add comments on each timestamp, which makes it easy to structure a document, to structure a video, because these timestamps that are inserted here in your video what you see is that when you open the multimedia browser, here the timestamps are included and are displayed. So here's the first question, which is a very interesting and general question on MAXQDA. And the question is if the transcription is saved only when you close the transcription mode. Oh no, that was a not so well sentence of mine. MAXQDA saves the transcript every 5 minutes automatically. If you open the preferences, you will see that there is an option that is called autosave documents in edit mode and memos every 5 minutes. You can select 1 minute here, for example, then MAXQDA takes a snapshot of your transcript every minute. So these are the main functions of the MAXQDA video analysis. And if you don't have any further questions, I thank you for your time and your patience. And I say many thanks for your attentions. Goodbye. And maybe we see at the MQAC next year here in Berlin. Maybe you've already saved the date for it. If you get any questions on the MAXQDA video functions, I would be happy to assist you, and I'm sure the MAXQDA team will answer questions, of course, too. And as I'm informed, this video will be uploaded into the internet on the MAXQDA website, I think. But maybe you get a mail on it. So somebody asked when there is the MQRC next year, the MAXQDA International Conference. So give me 1 second. It's on the here. Lucas wrote it to all. The MQIC is next year on the 28th of February to the 2nd of March in Berlin. Yeah. Thank you all and have a good time. Bye-bye.